Ours is a crazy place in oh so many ways. Let's try to make some sense of it on Spiritfolk Saturdays.
Welcome to a super special bonus episode of the Thrilling Intent-Based podcast, Spiritfolk Saturdays! I'm your host, Elfy, spirit of that thing. Joining us this week are Kat,
spirit of guest computers,
Raven,
Spirit of distraction,
Thero,
Spirit of my hand is trapped under a cat.
and our super special guest, Faust.
Hi, everybody!
what,
I'm the spirit of Ash.
Oh god, Ash died.
No!
why?
And well, we're off to a great start.
I was almost about to say, hey, Elfy, you got all the way through the intro this time without mishap, and then there was a boss scream.
It's fine, it's fine.
But it was during the spirit of distraction. It was perfect timing.
It was.
I keep having, like, these long pauses because I apparently can't read the names that are in front of me. Like, I was like, alright, Spirit, I was like, okay, and then I stared and I was like, her name is not Flutterbutter. What is it?
Come on, brain. You've got this.
You know, there's an easy way of solving this. Just put my name back.
No. The other day I had Willow's name in front of me and I almost called her Cat, because that's her real first name.
Whoa.
I am the only cat.
Well, I don't know. I've got one in here that seems pretty eager to dispute that claim. What do you think, Ra? He's distracted at the moment.
So Raven's there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, so who wants to go first? Not it on asking the first question.
Not it.
Dibs.
I'll take. Oh, damn it.
Do we do
Okay.
nose-goes rules here?
Except we can't see noses, sadly. So it's whoever can be the most aggressive.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
So the first question is going to be from Willow. And
Okay.
we're just going to dive right in with, what did Ash hate most about Meadshire, and why did she never leave until Marcus showed up?
That was my question I was going to ask.
Okay. I can answer immediately why she didn't leave immediately, and that was mostly due to economical reasons. They don't pay you enough to afford leaving. They pay you just enough to let you stay there and live maybe comfortably.
In
But-
Meadshire comfortably, right?
Yeah, Meadshire comfortably. Certainly not like actual quality of life comfortably. And what did she hate most about it? Like, can I just say like everything?
No, you gotta
That-
pick
no.
the worst bit. Like, out of any bit of it, if she had to go somewhere else and that was the one thing from Meadshire that carried over, it would make her the most miserable.
It's really specific.
Probably the falsity of it all. She really hated that. Just how fake everything was, and how obviously it was a front, but everybody still bought into it.
Does
'Cause
Card
So. Oh,
What?
sorry. What was my throat doing there? Anyways. So what you're saying is Ash would hate theme parks.
Maybe not necessarily, because like those have attractions, like while they are themed and they are false, the intent there is to have fun, and also to scam you out of your money, but like to a lesser extent than Meadshire. Like Meadshire was like, you are the big adventurer, you are the big hero. Well, in fact, you aren't. But the theme park is just like, yay, we get to pretend to be pirates, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So does Cardboard still give her a twitch when she sees it?
I don't know if she's seen Cardboard recently.
If she does, especially if it is anywhere near sheep, will she get a twitch?
Most likely, yes. Yes, I can say that. She would discourage Kier from inventing corrugated cardboard. Just don't do it.
Okay.
Would it then be keyboard?
Keyboard? Yes, it would.
Okay. Alright, so, big question I want to get out of the way, because it's
Okay.
going to bug me if I don't ask this one first.
Okay.
granted, you're probably just going to say spoilers, but is there anything about Ash's bound Spiritfolk or the specifics of being a guardian that you can tell us?
Specifics in what sense? Did you have anything in particular in mind?
Just we know nothings, basically.
What it's a spirit of, whether it's passed down through the family line in a way that results of the death of the previous Spiritfolk or the previous guardian when it's passed through, any number of things.
I can tell you that passing on the spirit, it doesn't come at the death of the person who originally bore it. But the death is frequently a side effect.
Okay, so it's like a ritual sort of thing, basically, that's to be done?
Yes.
Or... Okay.
What else could I say? The Guardian is obviously, as the name might imply, their intent or purpose is to protect the island. From what? I can't tell you, but...
Any foreign culture?
That is part of it, though not the original intent. I can say, the original intent may have been lost.
Ooh.
Thrilling.
Okay.
Yes. What?
Thrilling intent joke.
But,
Yay!
I wonder if it was originally actually not an island and part of a greater mainland that the Guardian protected and only later was split off, isolating them.
That's interesting.
How to answer questions properly with vague statements that concern nothing.
Hi, cat.
Yeah.
What was I watching? Oh, no, the proper way to answer is to ask your own question and then answer that question instead of...
Meow. Let's see. What else could I tell you? I can tell you that the spirit doesn't have an official name.
Okay.
Ash does call it something, though.
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay.
Is it you bastard?
No. No, actually. It's something in her native language, which is actually just a bastardization of Gaelic. I'm not actually a linguist, but I do enjoy trying to create realistic fantasy languages. Yeah. I'll type it out for you because I'm sure I would further bastardize the pronunciation.
Oh my goodness, we're about to get
pronounce
names.
it at some point. And we're going to have to read this out so the viewers can know what it is.
Listeners,
Your
that's the
cat
point.
is a gift.
Our listeners, why do I have to?
Truim Lach, I think.
that sounds right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Google! Help me.
You might get one of the words, but the other one not so much. But yeah. And also there wouldn't be a spelling for it in Ash's original language. There is very little written word in her language. It is mostly vocal.
Lach means to lie or settle on.
That sounds right, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Which of them?
And then Troom
Yes.
is a place.
What?
And then Troom is a place.
Oh.
The first
Yep.
part of that.
Huh.
But remember, it is a bastardization.
Yeah, I got a similar thing for Scottish Gaelic that marks the whole phrase as nightmare. So
That's also correct.
Yeah, it's a bit different between Irish Gaelic and Scottish Gaelic.
Yeah.
yeah, given that's why I clarified. Okay,
It is Scottish Gaelic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Woo!
See, I was going to ask a very simple question, which is just who is your favorite person to troll?
Jay.
Is it just because he's the GM?
Yeah, and he's also just the most fun.
So this one is from Bat, and they ask, what happened to the pocket watch that Saul gave Ash?
Ash still has it. I just haven't really brought it up yet. I do have plans to bring it up in the future. It's kind of like inventory is kind of like difficult because a lot of the I've got it all written down, but a lot of the time I'm more like, all right, I'm trying to go with the flow of the scene, and I don't want to be like, what about this item? And like whip that out and be like, don't you Doesn't everyone remember this?
No, you should totally do that just to watch.
If you want to troll Jay, that's the way.
Yeah.
But I do have plans to do something with the watch. I can't really. I guess I can't talk about it too much because that'd be spoilers. But there is a scene I'm going to try and shoot for where Ash touches on the watch again with Thog.
Are you gonna go Chrono Crusade? Or are you gonna tie the spirit into the watch?
Oh
No,
God, please no.
And
No,
then on
I'm
the
not.
opposite spectrum of things, we have someone like Marcus who has like a cape he's been wearing this whole time and just has never brought it up.
Yeah.
Never.
We also forget things too.
You just need to have one fan, like, very quiet in the back for every session, and occasionally you can ask them, do we have an inventory item that would help with this? And they'll know.
I mean, someone did just make a full inventory list of
What?
everything ever
What?
mentioned in the series.
Are you
Yes, someone
for
said
real?
this.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Oh,
Faust, you underestimate the amount of time so many of these people will put into thoroughly intent-related things.
You guys have seen the amount of fanfic in art. You should know to expect shit like this.
So much. It's amazing, but also so intimidating.
I keep
Just
needing
make
to
it
go
just
through and just make a proper timeline because it's like, alright, how long has, because we keep being like, alright, how much time has the gang been in honor? 2 weeks? A month? Like 3 days?
Don't think
Oh god.
We made a joke about that in the most recent session we played. Like, that episode hasn't come out yet, but we made a joke about that where it's like, I think it was Gregor's like, it feels like we've been here for years, and then Mark says, but it's probably only been weeks.
Probably. Even they can't keep track. Oh my god. That's great.
To be fair, things have been like hectic and very, very chaotic.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah.
I mean, given Marcus also did that weird thing where he probably lost track of a few hours because of talking with one, and who knows how time progresses, but...
This is also very true.
There were like 2 wars, and then there was the battle with Narn, and
another war. Oof. Things aren't looking so hot.
By the way, I want to tell you, Faust, whatever happens, I will continue to defend Ash's moral stance.
Nice. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I know, no, we've gotten into arguments about whether Zalvi or Zalvetta. I'm used to you saying Zalvi. Oh God, you're the worst.
We say it too. It's fine.
But whether Zalvetta is not in fact like far morally inferior to Ash, if for no other reason than their reason for fighting.
I mean,
there should be some cool Zelvetta stuff coming up soon. I can say that.
I know, and it makes me mad.
Jay said it would be in the last arc, and then it wasn't. And
yeah,
don't worry, Elfy. It makes me mad too, just in different ways.
That's the hard part about saying like when things are gonna happen, because it's like, yeah, we plan on getting it. Like, we had a perfect example of that. I think last time we recorded, we were like, all right, yeah, we're gonna get to this person and talk to them, and just because it's improv based, we made it nowhere near to where we wanted to get to.
It's improv based and it's also a tabletop campaign.
Yeah, we just decided to just be like dumb for an hour instead of do the things we needed to do.
I mean, that's kind of what happens in most tabletop games I've been a part of.
Wasn't Honored supposed to be like 2 arcs shorter or something?
Maybe.
Translation: I never expected more than 4 months there.
Oh yeah. No, like it's Honoron's been fun. It's been a learning experience, though. It has definitely been a learning experience. We've
never planned too many plot things in one place.
Yeah, aside from Shrouded Isles, we've never really done like a longer arc. In Shrouded Isles, I think we were still getting our feet under us, like figuring out the thing, the YouTube thing.
It also had a lot more humor in it, which I think is part of what's like making us feel the time, is that there's a lot less, happy-go-lucky stuff right now. It's you're doing whether it was Jay's intent or not, this is the political commentary arc. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I do feel like this kind of has the opposite problem of the Shrouded Isles, though, where on the Sharded Isles, we were left with like a billion questions that still haven't been answered, and this one it's like, oh yes, all
Let
these
us
things.
answer all these
learn-
questions.
Let's get
You asked
answers to
for it.
questions.
You all asked for it. You can't complain.
It's great because I feel like this is Shay's reaction to you guys keep setting everything on fire and then having to run away and be like forever exiled from these countries. So I'm sitting you down and making you find out everything just in case we never come back here.
Oh man, we should.
That's totally his motivation.
We're coming up on the close of Onerond. That is for sure. Like actually.
Didn't you promise that a year ago?
We were still figuring things out back then.
I will buy your honeyed lies again.
Well, it was Jay that said those honeyed lies.
He has a point.
Yeah.
Don't believe either of your honeyed lies.
Well, what if they're not honeyed?
Hope only ever brings despair.
Oh gosh.
Oh wow, that got a little too real for a second.
Moving on.
Well, here's a topical one. Do you ever feel nervous about interacting with the fandom?
No more so than I do like interacting with normal people. Like I'm pretty bad with people, and I'm always to some degree nervous. But not really. No, you've all been like pretty amazing people, and it's always nice talking to people.
You can't see when I'm finger gunning at you.
Yeah.
There you go. Gotta make the sound effect.
Don't worry, I'm scowling because you don't fear me enough.
That's good. Well, you're the friendly neighborhood villain.
I have all of the warm and fuzzy.
Thank you.
So.
Yeah, no, all of you have been really, really cool people, and that's always awesome.
How else will we ever get your guard down? Don't worry.
That's what I was gonna say.
Oh no!
How are we gonna break your
God.
trust if we don't have your trust?
Snooze, you lose.
Behind enemy lines.
I will never abuse that trust.
Oh, that's good.
That's a
I
lie.
will try not to.
I will just get people up for bad cosplay choices.
Thero's our sleeper agent.
Oh no.
If it's not too spoilery, when did Ash get her bindings? This question being from Bat. And was her hair always white, or was it a different color when she was younger? Same for the eyes.
Okay. She got her bindings when she was... I don't have an exact date set, but it was around, like, 10. Somewhere around there. Pretty young.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. And no, she did not always have white hair.
I was wrong.
Or yellow glowing eyes.
Okay, how much do we have to pay you to find out what it originally was? To
Yes.
make our lives easier?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say red and green, respectively.
Allow us to make the fan art more accurate, please.
It was most likely red and green. Yes.
Yes!
Red hair and green eyes.
What's that?
Red hair and green eyes, or green hair and red eyes?
Oh no, she was not that much of an anime character.
She became that much of an anime character.
She certainly did.
So then STA is right, and I feel validated.
No, yeah, you made a good choice with that one. You went with like classic hair color for Scottish Gaelic like descent.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I always feel so validated when stuff like that gets confirmed.
Everyone.
You mean like all the time because you guys have just been on point with STA?
Yes.
You have no idea. You have no idea.
Oh goodness, hold on. Cat is screaming again. Not this cat, the other cat. Okay.
I love how it's just like distant thudding, cat meowing. Okay.
He scrapes on. Well, he doesn't have claws. I got him from somebody else and they declawed him. But he was like rubbing the door with his little feet, so it makes this like Windex noise.
Poor guy.
Yes.
It's even cuter how you describe it, because with his little feet.
They are little.
I'll just do one of my own. How did you end up playing Ash? What concept did you start with, and how did it evolve?
Gosh. Do you mean like how did I end up choosing Ash as a character to play in the beginning?
Yeah.
Oh man. I'm not sure. Like originally it was just like, yeah, I kind of want to play a character who is like sort of the dexterous thief archetype. Like, that's usually what I play in like Skyrim and stuff like that.
Fragile
also-
Speedsters for the win.
Yeah. And then I knew I wanted her to, like, the character to have some sort of hidden component, which was like the spirit. And I drew a lot of inspiration, obviously, from Secret of Kells, and actually also from. I might be too much of a spoiler.
It might be, which is why you should PM it to just me.
Might, so you can tell us because it's only might, right?
PM it right over here. I'll tell no one.
All right. A lot of the imagery in Princess Mononoke. One of the things in that movie in particular, I won't say which one, but I'll let you guess. I knew that I always wanted the power to be somewhat vague in the way that it manifested, which would in this case be the hand. Like I always just thought that was like really, really cool imagery in my head. And that was the concept I started with. And then we workshopped, me, Jay, just me and Jay workshopped the character. Like, all right, so here's what I want to start with. How can we make this cool? And then we planned it, and I wrote like a bunch of like backstory and like, a bunch of stuff about Meath. And it's all evolved as we've like played through the sessions and like continued to talk about characters and just like as we try and shoot for things in the future. I'm sorry, I forgot the other half of the question.
So did I.
Okay, well, that's good.
I actually need to bow out. There's another thing I need to do.
Alright, so does someone want to re-ask the question that we asked last time? Because I don't remember what it was.
I don't remember which one was supposed to be.
With the Mononoke thing.
Yes. Yeah. So just to confirm that since you said it, the Princess Mononoke imagery that you went with was the forest god spirit's night form.
Yes. And then I made a pained noise when you hit it so like on the nose. But yes, to confirm definitively, I did draw imagery from the deer god in Princess Mononoke.
Is that also where Telvillian came from? Because he kind of looks like it.
Right?
No,
just in the face.
Jay drew that one. And he's just like, no, you guys are going to love this. It's going to be great.
That was the perfect J voice.
It was!
Alright, my question, playing off of what you were saying earlier about Ash's and Flinch's being all Gaelic and such. If you could pull it off, would you do Ash constantly with a Scottish or Irish accent?
Actually, that's something that I've thought about frequently. I can say that if I could, I would, but I don't think I could do it consistently. I did it for Dungeoneers, and I didn't do a very good job, but I had the benefit of being able to like edit and all of that. If that's how TI went, I would definitely give Ash an accent. I can say with certainty, that whenever she first left me, she had a very thick accent, but has since picked up a lot of free, which is the common language, and has sort of pushed her accent to the side to distance herself from her home. But it's something I wish I could do, but I don't have the VA chops for it yet. But in like moments of intense stress, I would love to bring out her accent.
That would be great.
Yeah, but I just don't have like the confidence in myself to like do that reliably.
Well, you might be able to pull off the accent, but if you ever need some obscure Scottish swear words or something like that, hit me up.
I would love some. If you could like email me some, that would be great.
Sure thing.
Have them get lost in the third wheel inbox somewhere.
I'm pretty good at like checking emails about.
You're the only one. You are the only one.
I try.
Like I just sent the email for this podcast and just said, "Hey, Faust, do you want to be on the podcast?" Like I knew you'd see it.
Yeah, the rest of them are pretty busy in their own right. I don't want to throw them under the bus.
Oh no, I'm sure, like we all know, real life stuff comes up, but just one of those things of you gotta poke fun at it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but for sure I want to throw them under the bus. Let's back that up.
Shoot. So since Ash has to since she made an effort to kind of distance herself from her accent, as you put it, does that mean she sits and does voice training with herself for every so often?
She's very good at listening. She's very good at adapting. To touch back on character concept, that was one of the original things. Yes. Ash isn't very world-wise, but something I'd always had in mind is in tense situations, like fights or if they went to a city, maybe she wouldn't pick up on cultural tics, but she'd always be able to adapt to a situation to ensure her survival. Ash is in that same vein. She's very good at listening to people and figuring out how their accents work. And also, yes, she would talk to herself frequently when alone to figure it out.
Okay.
Her writing is still very poor.
I feel like that, intentionally or no, contributes to the Meadshire thing where it's she made the maps and probably labeled them, and then no one could read what she labeled.
That's perfect. I'm gonna use that.
Unintentionally, she made Meadshire even worse.
That takes effort, usually.
Yeah. Oh
But
gosh.
for Ash, it was effortless.
Yeah. How do you make the worst place on Earth worse? Completely by accident.
Or the worst place on insert nameless planet name here.
Oh yeah, that's right.
This is true. We have talked about what planet it's on, but we haven't settled on anything yet.
Right.
I still
Yeah,
really like the concept of it just being a horribly, bastardized version of the word Earth because eventually does the same.
Yeah.
ER.
ERs.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, it's spelled the same as Earth.
Yeah.
Okay. So since you brought up a duality thing and having a lot of territory basically. So we've seen Ash use a very broad range of powers. She has energy weapons, she has guidances and healing, she has some kind of frost ability. I don't know if that actually showed up or if you just mentioned it at some point.
It showed up.
But
that did get used, yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it was on
So are they all from the Spiritfolk, or are some of them actually legitimately her own thing?
It is all from... Thank you, construction. There's the answer. I said it whenever that drill was going off, but there you go.
Come on.
But no. It is all from the spirit. Let's see. I wonder what I can say in regards to this.
This is why Jay should be here, just to spot check you.
Yeah. Well, most of the Ash to keep me from giving it away. I want to give stuff away all the time or hint at stuff. But most of the Ash stuff is in my court. Let's see. The spirit does have a very broad range of powers. I think we've mentioned it before in either an email or in the main show. I can't remember. But spirits generally tend to be a spirit of something.
Mm-hmm.
I can say the spirit is not a spirit of something. How do I phrase this? I need to phrase this really vaguely.
Spirit of beingness.
Its nature is shaped by the perceptions of its wielder.
That's super neat.
That is very neat and very interesting, and wow, what the hell kind of level is this thing at?
And suitably vague. Suitably vague.
It kind of reminds me of the Spiritfolk, whose name I forget, but the one that turned into Ash before it got cut in half.
The Phobiast.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's like how Ancestral Sword, which is a spell she used, is like it changes what weapon it is based on the user's alignment.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yep.
I'm just thinking like Mirrorverse sort of stuff, like, you know, whatever you want to see is whatever actually is.
Oh, see, I misinterpreted that, and there's the thing I'm working on where there's like the alternate universe, and I was like,
Oh,
oh
right.
yeah, that Ash must be a great person to hang out with.
I can't say though, it's not what she wants to see.
Hmm.
In a similar vein, Addie asks, how much does Ash know about her own powers?
That's my answer. She knows basically nothing. She was taught a lot of not necessarily history about her, like back on Meath. She was taught what to use them for, not necessarily how to use them. It was very focused on practical application. She was given very little history on it, on the spirit. Nor was she given like what
Context?
Yeah, no context. She wasn't given a handbook. It was basically just like if someone steps on the island, you use it to kill them. Yeah.
Lord.
That's God damn it.
Meath doesn't like people.
God damn it, xenophobic pirates.
Yeah.
Druid pirates.
Yeah.
Yeah. Xenophobic druidic pirates.
What a mouthful.
That's I am so glad you're here because I am getting a lot of thoughts.
Whoops.
I haven't written anything in ages, but this is making me want to write stuff.
Oh man.
I'm now, like, I wrote a fic the other day, and it's not done yet, but there is a line where Ash is talking, and she's, like, first introduced, and it does mention her with, like, a vague accent, and I'm like, man, I'm glad I included that now.
Yeah,
you've all been really good at, like, picking up on our lines of thought. I think Jay's mentioned it before. It's really cool, and also frustrating.
That's what this podcast is for.
Yeah.
Predicting things months ahead of time.
Yeah.
Like that Ash would be a band and have a wolf mask.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
You know, if you really want to like use that sort of thing against us, you guys should just get Jackson to do more stuff because he can pick up on that with the Pogs somehow.
Oh yeah.
Like again, I've said before, but like most of the Pogs that I get, I'll have given him a description, and then he'll have picked up on something, I don't know what, and included it that's like, that is exactly fitting for this character, and I have no idea how the fuck you figured that out.
Yeah.
He's super good at that. He's an extremely talented artist.
I think he put a zipper on one of my character's shirts just to bug me. Because the nephew was like, well, that's canon now, you realize. And I was like, God damn it.
He probably did.
The last thing I gave him to draw was a small cat creature from an MMO I play, so that should be really interesting to see how he draws that.
Yeah. Oh god, but yeah, I want to, while you're here, I want to like throw all of these theories and thoughts at you, except all of them are coming from stuff you just told us, so I'm trying to figure out how to relate. Like, oh, so this connects to this or that, but like, you know, I usually have to stew over it for like a few hours.
Yeah. Get it into words. I know how it goes, but yeah, feel free to toss anything at me when I'm here.
Sophia asks, do you have a favourite tabletop system? If so, what is it?
Ooh. I really like Monster of the Week, just because it's so easy for everybody to get into. It is just like, it requires zero planning, it's super user-friendly, and it facilitates a lot of player interaction with the world, so it's not like they shape the story as well, rather than everything being dictated entirely by the GM, which isn't bad. I just happen to like that. Like that. Each side shares a part in shaping the story. So probably Monster of the Week, which is actually based on a system called Apocalypse World. It's just that it is more or less like in the Creative Commons zone, so everybody uses Apocalypse World as a base for their game. So you've got like Monster of the Week, Dungeon World is another Apocalypse World, like I guess tabletop-like.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'd say Apocalypse World is my favorite, just because that's the root of all of them.
Alright.
Willow asks, between Ko and Sarah, you seem to have a knack for slightly more devious anti-hero types, and they differ quite a bit from Ash. What was your inspiration for them?
For Ko, I wanted to play somebody who would kill one of the party members. And then for Suri, I guess I can give spoilers for that one since, well, maybe. Because we might want to do something with Galacticosmic in the future, so I don't know how much spoilers I can give. I can say that the basis of Suri, the idea at the root was toxic love. Basically someone who you didn't want to love you.
Aww.
Yes. And Suri does have a sorcery, and that sorcery is called Love Good. And it was the thing that he used to teleport.
So what fandom reactions to Ash or her interactions with the other characters has been the most surprising to you? And which reaction do you enjoy the most?
I like seeing the diversity in reactions. Most recently with Ash destroying the pillar. I'm really happy with how like split everybody is on it. Because it's like, I side with Gregor, I side with Ash. And people like, I side with Marcus. I really like how it isn't just clean cut. Because what I was really aiming for there was sort of like a loop around to like, oh, Ash did it too. Just to demonstrate that nobody's perfect. Like they each have their own ideas, and they're going to go about them in very clumsy ways because they are people.
They are very awkward people.
It reminds me of how I was rewatching Wizard High School and the whole thing with Lagan's eye, and someone in the comments was like, Gregor is the worst. If I was Ash, I would have just killed him, and I was like, well, that's a bit overboard.
Oh my God.
And someone left a comment on the podcast who was like, Gregor's totally in the right. I don't get what the big deal is. And it's like, huh.
Yeah.
I love the split. I love how like it's not just like one side over the other. I wouldn't necessarily say it's actually it was kind of surprising because I figured that everyone would hate Gregor. Sorry, Jackson. It's fun. It evens out. But yeah, I'm like also happiest with that because it's really cool.
Yeah, I'm always like, I can usually see where Ash is coming from, and if someone's like talking shit about her, I'm going to be like, dude, no, this was probably a thought process that she could have been having. But it's like, I can't, with the heart pillar, I can't really defend it. It's just like, I mean, like, again, I'll be like, you're being too harsh, back the fuck down and consider this, but at the same time, Marcus was totally right to call her out and be like, you should have come and talked to us, this is exactly what you wanted before, so...
Yeah.
Me and Raven have a similar argument, but about an entirely different character, where I'm like, well, Velveta, I mean, I get he murders people, but he is kind of doing it in war, and she's like, yeah, but that's awful, and I was like, Ash murdered a bunch of people, and she's like, yeah, but that's... And she's like,
why Sylvia murders people because he really likes torturing them.
Yes, but they're still in a war.
He's not doing it because of the war, he's doing it because he loves murdering people.
And somehow Ash murdering a bunch of Alderani guards was okay, when they did nothing to her.
I have no comment.
See? This is what I have to deal with.
It's it's interesting to watch when stuff like this pops up. So the range of reactions is what you enjoyed the most. So what's been the most interesting or shocking reaction to Ash for you? Oh,
Fair enough.
Gosh, I have to plumb my memory because I'm bad at remembering stuff like this.
okay.
Oh man, I think, I mean, it might be a bit of a downer, but the most surprising thing is how a lot of the comments are just like, "Uh-oh, Thero died."
Yeah, he'll be back hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Oh, rip Thero. Oh well.
Just keep talking before we forget the combo.
Oh yeah. Like I said, it might be a bit of a downer, but I'm really surprised at a lot of the comments that are just like, "Ash is a girl." They're just like, oh, yeah, it's so hard to wrap your. I don't get why that's so hard to wrap your head around.
I don't know either.
Yeah. But that's been the most surprising to me, in a negative sense. In a positive sense, I'd say the most surprising is probably how much people analyze the character, because like I don't spend that much time on anything. Sorry to admit that, but like it's like surprising and really flattering, and also makes me like want to spend more time on it to make it like live up to people's standards, which is good.
Doing your job as a fandom.
Yeah. There you go.
That is kind of like the feedback loop is, oh god, are we giving you guys too much like expectations? Oh god, we hope we're not giving you anxiety, but we have to keep writing, drawing, analyzing.
Oh no, we love it. We're all very naturally, well, I know that Jay and I are very, very naturally anxious people. But like the fandom itself is just such a source of motivation for us.
Aww.
Yay! Welcome back, Thero.
What did I miss?
Oh man, I explained everything.
Literally everything.
Didn't Jackson say exactly that the last time someone dropped from a call?
Really?
Yes.
Yes.
Last time too.
I
Everything's doing it to me.
think that was during the Fatback call last month.
I really want to say it was. I thought it was during the podcast. I'm like
It might have-
75% sure it was during the last podcast we had with him.
Okay. It might have happened both times. I'm just not remembering.
It's always me that happens to.
Yeah, but we found out Ash's last name and why exactly she
So
left.
what's the most shocking fan reaction?
I know for a fact Ash doesn't have a last name because that was confirmed in an email.
Yes, it was.
And also Inian doesn't, but she might have once. God damn it, Jay.
C4/Pink asks, who is your favourite puppet to play with? I assume you mean in the editing process.
Oh, probably Rat. Because, like, make him like wiggle and stuff. Like if I'll go away construction. But if I've got the time, I like to add extra special effects. More recently, unfortunately, I haven't had the time. But like whenever I do, I get to make Rat like bounce and stuff, and I try to time it with each of his kind of laughs.
Yeah,
Like
that
zooming
is
on his face.
Yeah.
that is always a nice touch. Just keep zooming. Just pick a pixel and keep zooming into that.
I think my favorite effect I've done of all time actually was the one when Marcus recognized Marcus Jr. and he was just like, and it did the zoom into his face.
my as a viewer, my favorite has gotta be all the way back when Marcus did the like making words appear thing.
Oh yeah.
Fans.
I remember losing it, and that's how like Thero I think ended up watching TI. It was the ducks when during Deca Disaster.
Yeah.
Guy episode I ever saw.
Yeah, because I was losing it, and I was like, "You need to watch this thing."
Yeah, that I really like that one too.
Oh, God.
Actually, Colvin's got some animations that Jackson drew for him that I don't have a chance to use.
We've seen one of
He
them.
used it once in Wizard High.
Yeah.
Right, the punching.
Yeah.
Okay, but he has more.
More punching. Yeah.
What else would Colvin do?
Yeah.
Message.
Message.
What special effect was my favourite? I think it was just something really simple. It was back in the Shrouded Isle, and it was you had Marcus walking, and he saying, "As I walk, flowers sprout behind me," and then you had Ash's one stomping.
Yeah.
Up and down. It was so simple, but it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that stuff is always like just really fun to see.
Yeah,
and
I love doing the special effects.
it's oh god, I was watching. What was I double checking for? I was double checking for my imp to make sure. Okay, we haven't actually seen him again, right? And then
was it imp that Matt sent off in the trench coat?
Yes, Sir Impington. And then I went back to watch that, and I was like, oh, that's right, you got like unique art for him.
Yep.
And then you had Marcus like leaning down to talk to him. I was like, yay.
Yeah.
Some of the imps are really, some of them have really taken off with the fandom. Like,
Really? What?
Yeah.
they seem to like referencing the goddamn Wonderpuss, which is hilarious to me because it's mine and I named it after my friend. Which is what a lot of things is. The goddamn
It's
Wonderpuss.
just a fun name to like say.
I really wish I could name like another imp. Like I need to find someone to bribe that I can like because I came up with a name for an imp and it's really like grown on me and I needed an excuse to use it. Is Imperator Sassafras because that sounds very much like an imp name.
That sounds very much like it.
And it's even a pun. I didn't even realize it like after I came up with it, but it's Imperator.
Ah!
All the imp puns. I mean, that was mine, because like Sir Impington in person the 9th. I was like, what can I play off of in person? Like not a person, but he's like trying to be a character. He's really trying to be his own self.
Yeah.
And then in person works. Like not person, as if you're saying, person or something. And then I was like, he needs something else with him. And I just gave him the whole thing.
To a tiny sword.
Yep. It just. I'm sorry. I know that was Matt, so I'm just like I feel weird. It's just like I was watching that conversation. I'm like, I'm so glad my imp got a whole conversation. Just funny. We need to talk about that name. Sorry.
Right, I believe it's my turn.
Yes.
Yep.
So, how did you end up playing Harper? Like, he showed up in that one live stream and didn't say anything, and then the next time he showed up, he was technically a player character.
We actually have an in-house rule for that. Whenever Jay plays, excuse me. Whenever Jay plays Harper, he doesn't speak. Whenever I play Harper, I voice him. I ended up playing Harper because we wanted the Halloween stuff to be canon, because that might factor in soon. Who knows?
Yes.
We couldn't have Ash there if we wanted it to be canon. We just didn't think it would fit with like the pacing, and we also wanted Ash to have a thing. Or, like, we wanted the group to have, like, what's it called on TV tropes? The spaghetti incident or whatever?
Noodle incident.
Noodle incident, yeah. We wanted the group to have a noodle incident where they're, like, after Owner, they're all back at the bar and they're like, how crazy was that haunted mansion? And then Ash is just like, what? That's not real. But, I ended up playing Harper because we thought he would make a very good suspicious character. He's an old character of mine that somehow made it in.
Huh.
Did that answer the question, or did I just ramble for like a minute?
No, that answered the question. That's just
Okay.
that's really interesting.
Yeah. Harper, yeah, that was definitely interesting.
I like Harper.
It's
Harper kind of creeps me out, but in an appreciative way.
yeah. Like he's doing what he's supposed to do.
Yeah. I can spill the beans on Harper because, like, if you're curious, I don't want to take up time with it if you're not.
Yes, tell him.
Harper is an ageless artifact hunter who is cursed to never sleep. He's very strange. Nobody knows where he comes from or where he goes. He has another curse on him that makes it so that whenever he is traveling, he cannot be tracked. Say you see him in a room, and you watch him close the door, and leave. If you immediately after the door shut, open the door to find him, you wouldn't be able to see him. He doesn't exist while he is traveling. He is a well-known artifact hunter who goes around taking cursed items. He is missing an arm, but carries around a bottle of wine and a sack of dead leaves. The wine he uses to puppet the leaves by imbuing it with some of his own magic, and he uses the dead leaves as a replacement arm.
Oh.
That's
He's
super
exceptionally
neat.
powerful.
That is very neat.
That's super
That's very
cool.
Wow, that's
He is a character that was in. Speaking of dating sims earlier, he was one of the characters in the proto dating sim we made before TI. He was not an option to date though.
Oh,
aw.
He was that weird guy that you follow around and have lunch with.
But I want to date the cursed artifact hunter. God.
Maybe in the expansion.
That's the the $40 limited edition DLC.
Exactly. Day one, even.
No, day 0.
Comes out before the game.
that's the demo, of course. And then you
The demo
break up
game.
in the time between the demo and the actual game, because otherwise it don't make sense or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh god. So does that mean if Harper even just takes a step, as soon as he starts moving, you can't see him while he's taking that step? Is that
If he's in your sight while he begins traveling, you can see him. But say he rounds a corner and you lose sight of him, he's gone.
Huh. Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
That is
He's very frustrating to a lot of people. Most people don't like him because he's weird.
Like Colvin.
Yeah.
Bear with me on this question. If you attached a rope to Harper and a long rope,
That
and he
happened.
walked outside and you followed the rope, would you be able to see the rope around thin air, or would the
That
rope be
happened.
as well?
That happened.
The rope went slack and fell to the ground.
Yeah, the second they looked back, the rope
yeah.
went slack.
yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
So did the rope just untie itself? Is that
It's confusing. Curses are confusing.
curses are fun though.
I like-
super fun.
There's that technical aspect is it's if you were to go invisible, you actually probably wouldn't be able to see because light reflects off you.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining him walking into walls and trying to be really nonchalant about it.
Someone get Harper a seeing eye dog.
I can't say. It's not that he's invisible. It's that he doesn't exist.
Jeez.
Harper was a proto-Colvin.
Oh god.
Isn't everything a proto-Colvin?
Most of my characters were proto-Colvins.
It explains so much.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, that's great. So, oh my god, that works on meta sense too, because basically what that means is Colvin beat out all of his predecessors, which is such an annoying thing. He basically fought them and won out to be the Colvinest
too
Colvin
perfect.
there is.
That's too perfect.
Oh my god.
That's great. That's great. Oh. Okay. What question? I had one picked out and I decided not to go with it, and I can't pick another one. Okay. So, are there any, actually no, let's go with this one. How'd you get started, with sound mixing and Foley and all that?
Originally, I started to make TI, like, as a way to help improve TI. And I just can't. Obviously, I was very bad at it when we started.
No.
What? Crazy.
It works well enough in the early episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's endearing.
I appreciate it, but it originally did start as a way to improve TI because for a while we weren't doing anything. We were just like recording and then that was it. And then I started trying to like mix it and like do all that, and it was very much an uphill battle. I had no previous like schooling on it. Like it was all just like, oh god, this sounds so bad still. What did I do to it? And then it sort of evolved because I got into voice acting and I wanted to be able to mix and like do my own stuff. So I didn't have to pay someone else to do it. And then it got even more serious when I started doing audiobooks, and like it was absolutely necessary to know all that stuff as I continue to go forward.
Huh.
Yeah.
Very neat. So, along those lines, is there like, what should I say? Is there like a favorite effect that you found, or like that you did, and you were just like immediately, that's exactly what I need, or something?
Sound effect, or like vocal effect? Because I haven't done much.
Either.
I do have some presets I've made for everybody's mics in recording situations that are, I think, work pretty good so far. What do you all think? You've watched the most recent episodes. What's your opinion on the sound stuff?
Pretty good.
It's a lot better than it was when you started.
Good. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh god, like I have my audio set for the new episodes, and then if I try and rewatch, I'm like, oh god, my ears.
Yeah.
Everything's loud, and someone's very tinny, and someone else is echoing, and oh god, why?
Yeah, Jay had a lot of issues at various places.
Yeah.
There's a single episode recently that had like audio issues, and that was when Jay was editing it. Is the second episode of Village of Corpses. Is like the end music is like piercing, and I know it's coming every time, and I still like jump a foot in the air because oh my god, my ears are bleeding.
Yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, no, I've got like a preset for everybody's mics and recording situations that I'm able to use that I built up. And it's like, it's so nice, but it's really frustrating whenever like people move their mics because it doesn't work if people like move their mic, because that changes the way that the recorded voice sounds, because the placement of the mic in the room affects how your voice that bounces off of the walls comes in. Like right now, I'm using my Blue Yeti to do the Skype call, and there's construction outside, and it is the recorded sound from the Blue Yeti would be drastically different from my other mic, not only due to placement, but also because of like mic go away construction, but also due to, like the quality of the mic. So I wouldn't be able to use the same preset, sadly. And favorite sound effect, all of Ash's sound effects I really like. I really like Ash's sound effects. I used magnet noises, and a lot of like magnet and like electric noises, neon bulbs in particular. I used. Actually, I've just had a lot of fun designing the sound effects for the characters in general. Like I try to give each of them specific noises that I draw from, and then stick to those noises to give like all their stuff a sort of similar feel. I haven't really been able to do sound effects a lot recently because, again, time, sadly. But like Marcus's stuff is more like bubbly, like and like I used a lot of like water noises in his. Gregor doesn't really have sound effects because he's just slashy and stuff. And then for vocal effects, actually, I made one for, I think, Thero's reading, where I just got like a wild idea, like, wow, this is really cool. I could totally picture this as some sort of like audio drama. I have time. I'm gonna do that. Yeah.
It was
And
such
it-
a good reading.
Oh, I'm glad you liked it. I had a lot of fun reading it. But it was the vocal effect for the spirit.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
It's kind of like like the equivalent of like a character theme, like on television. Like the background music will like have the same recurring noises, and when you hear them, you immediately think of that character. Something like that.
That one.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I was trying to identify all the noises with each of the characters and make it distinct because I think that's neat.
It is.
It is, and it really shows that you guys like care when you do stuff like that, and that's what makes it good as like a fan to be in this and like,
Nice.
oh hey that
Okay,
thing,
woo.
yeah.
Hmm.
And it's also like if something mysterious happens, we can like try and figure out, okay, does this sound similar or look similar to anyone else, and what could that mean?
Yeah.
Really cool.
It's not for naught.
Yes.
It is all noticed and appreciated.
Yeah, it's good to know that the creators are as much of nerds about what they're making as we are about say watching it.
Yeah, I think touching back earlier, you asked about like fandom interactions, and like one of the reasons I'm always so like interested in interacting with everyone is because you're all just as excited about it as we are. That's like really nice.
Mm.
Yay! Yay! That's really my only reaction there.
Like you guys have all guested on the podcast, and that's super neat.
Yeah. I feel like we're collectors. We've had the full set now.
We'll just get them all together at once.
Well, I was thinking the other day, and I was like, man, Jackson's on the podcast. We haven't had Faust. I should ask him. But like he's sick. Let's see if he'll come anyway.
Yeah. Thankfully, I'm not sick anymore.
Yeah.
There was much squealing
So much squealing.
and capital letters everywhere.
Good. Capital letters. I get those.
And exclamation marks, apparently.
I also understand those.
I love every time someone has like an email to share from you. There's always going to be at least a dozen exclamation points. And if it's unsigned, it's just like, well, count the exclamation points and let me at least know if it's Faust or not.
I think Jason something like that once where it was like, yeah, I used to use a lot of exclamation marks, and then I saw how much Faust used them, and I decided I'd tone it down. Something.
Yeah. I think you did say that.
Just have to hope there's never an exclamation shortage in the world.
That would be terrible. I wouldn't know what to do.
Even more capital letters.
I'm sure you'd have something to exclaim about it.
I mean, technically, an exclamation point is just a capital 1. So,
This is true.
Wait, what?
because if you hit Shift and then you hit 1, you get an exclamation.
Oh, I get it. Okay.
Alright. Vida asks, would Ash ever consider a career that wasn't adventuring, and if so, what?
I don't know. Maybe eventually she would consider a career that's not adventuring. It would have to be something she likes. Like she wouldn't settle for something. Right now though, she's really, really set on exploring more of the world, learning more about it, and by extension herself. That's sort of like her big thing right now. But if she did settle on something, it would probably be somehow related to alcohol. Like brewing, probably. Or maybe like gardening or farming or something. She likes working with her hands a lot.
Okay.
Maybe like whittling, carpentry, something like that. Or writing, maybe, if she got better at that. She likes making maps too, so. Actually, we just recorded a bonus thing that touches on mapping, and Ash would definitely do cartography as a profession at some point.
Huh.
Yes.
Yay.
Yes.
A mixture of Evie and Sophia's questions is how much input did you have in the design of Ash, and what made you make those choices for her design?
I didn't actually have much input. I gave Jackson a bunch of like ideas, and then he drew what Ash is today, and I was like, okay, cool. Yeah. So yeah, he's the one to ask about that. Sadly, I wish I could spout more on it, but I have no idea. But when is this design process?
I think we did ask him, and he was like, Faust had a lot of details, ask him.
Jerk!
I think. I could be misremembering.
It was something like ask the guys, yeah.
Yeah. I did mention that, like, I knew I wanted her hair and eyes to be somewhat, like, dim or bleached, for reasons. And he went with that, which I really liked. I mentioned that she's like lightweight, that she's not a heavily armored type of person. She has a focus on mobility. I mentioned that she carried around multiple weapons just in case, and that she's got that going on. What else did he use? The tattoos. What?
I have a point against the mobile thing.
You did the cosplay.
Sword hit me in the back of the leg so often, and hit other people in the side so often. It did not make for good mobility.
Yeah, I don't actually know. Well, obviously the sword isn't good for mobility.
Yeah. We don't question where the sword's at.
Yeah.
We don't question belts, and we don't question weapon placement.
Right, the armor placement. I couldn't bend over.
Oh no.
Sitting down was a challenge.
Oh gosh. Maybe we should reconsider these designs. That's still one of my favorite things. Jax is just like, I feel a pang of guilt every time someone tries to cosplay Tia. That's like my favorite thing from him.
Eventually, I will have a sewing machine, and I will be Indian.
Nice.
One of my favorite jokes I've done is I just threw a blanket over myself and took a picture in the mirror and was like, "Look, I am Zelvetta."
Nice. That tattoos though, I can say. I wanted them to be like way more intense, but he's like, no, I'm doing minimal because I don't want to draw that many tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
If they're intricate, they can be on spots covered by clothing.
Yeah, that's sort of what we've decided on. That like the ones that he doesn't have to draw are very like involved. Like they're I think I've mentioned it before, but they're also heavily inspired by like Celtic knots and stuff like that.
Even like just the simple stuff is I will be drawing Ash will be like, why does she oh, I haven't put on her bindings.
Yeah.
I have this slight headcanon. It's if you really look at the bindings, then you can see that it's really tiny designs.
Oh, whoa. That'd be cool.
But
Yeah, I remember talking about that at one point.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah. Okay. Question. It would help if my mouse was working right now, so I could scroll.
Oh.
Can I ask a question that's like a branch off of that one? Is like, are they like actually like tattooed like how one would get normally achieved tattoos or like magic
Not how
on?
one would normally achieve tattoos, but it is ink embedded into the skin.
Okay.
Yes.
That's good to know.
Because I can't imagine it would be comfortable to have to like sit there for like however many hours to get these lines drawn on you.
That's a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
no.
God, that must have been intense.
Yeah. There was some like there's stuff you can get in real life called like hush cream, and it numbs the skin. There was some of that. Like it wasn't like full pain. It wasn't like completely done without care for the recipient.
Okay, that's good to know. Let's see. So, okay, question. So, did you, when you guys were starting out, or maybe even like now as the fandom's kind of gotten bigger, Did you feel any pressure as like the token girl character starting out, or did you just not think about it?
I didn't really think about it. I'm not very clever, so I don't think about stuff like that.
That's a lie.
No, that never really crossed my mind. I don't know. Yeah, I was just having fun as the character, I guess. I was only really surprised that it was a thing. Like whenever I started seeing the YouTube comments, like what, what?
Okay. Yeah, I know. I was just wondering about because, like, I mean, obviously now the cast is better because we have Indian around regularly, and Fury at least showed up in a few episodes, and characters here and there. But like for a while, it was just Ash. So.
Yeah, and I can say that's because Jay's very self-conscious about like his girl voice. He thinks it sounds really bad and dumb.
Oh my gosh. Well, stop that.
I know, right?
You are all good at voicing, so stop that.
Mm-hmm.
I once tried to do voicing for my Pathfinder. It went badly. Never again.
Interesting. It probably went a lot better than you think it did.
I don't know, did it?
It was fun and interesting. It was just like there was a lot of giggles because you went ridiculous with it to start with.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always easier to do voices in like a comedic setting than it is to try and do it in like a serious setting. Like for something like what's that?
It was a comedic setting.
Okay, cool.
Sort of.
Sort of?
Sort of. I can't quite remember. The tone of the moment.
Oh yeah.
Help me,
All
Kat.
right, I can do like another round of questions.
Okay.
And then I should probably hit the road.
Okay.
Instruction.
What questions would you ask yourself if you were us? Asked Adeline.
What? Gosh.
Answer those.
What would I ask me if I were you? I don't know. I have no idea.
This could be the opportunity to be like really cool about it. Like, Faust, how are you such a cool person? I don't know. It just comes naturally.
No.
Question.
I can't think of an answer to that one. I'm really bad at questions. I have a tendency to really stew on them for a long period of time, unless they're like unless they just suddenly come to me. So unfortunately, I don't think I can think of a question off the top of my head. I'll let you ask another one, since that was such a lame answer. Sorry.
Sophia asks, are there any cool, not TI projects you could tell us about?
Yeah. I have plans to put one together pretty soon. It is going to be not a motion comic, but like a sound comic. Yeah. I'm still figuring out how to do it. I have no idea what I want to, like what's it called? Like where I want to host it, like on YouTube or on its own site, because I'm not sure what format I'm going to do it in or how I'm going to execute the sounds. The comic part, I've got. I've been secretly practicing drawing for the past several years, and I'm getting to a point where I'm at least confident enough to not like shout down my own drawings if I post them publicly. And the comic is going to be an attempt on my part to get better at drawing, but also to tell a story that I think is going to be very, like, cool, kind of cute, kind of nice. Might have. It's how do I get into it? Yes, Draw Bad has evolved into Draw Mediocre.
Hey, if XKCD can be like popular stick figures, I think you'll be okay.
Nice. Let's see. It's going to be a comic mostly devoid of like dialogue. I'm going to try and tell everything through framing, noise, and just like character expressions. It is a comic called Bell Tower, and it is. I'm not sure if it's going to be set in the. I'm not sure if it's going to be set in the TI-verse because it has a lot of like far-reaching implications about the world it's set in that I don't think would quite gel with TI. I'm super excited for it. I don't know what all I can say, but I've been like concepting out everything in what little free time I've had the past couple months, and yeah, I'll make noise whenever it's posted. I don't know how long it's gonna be. It'll probably be like, I don't know. I don't really have an end for it, but the chapters are going to be pretty short, self-contained stories, and it's going to be about. It's going to like. I'm going to try to address some like, I don't know, mental health stuff that I've personally like battled with, in a way that's like accessible to people, I guess. I'm not sure, but the main point of it is to be like, kind of cute and like nice and relaxed.
And like something we'll keep an eye out for.
Yeah, it sounds like it'll be good.
Nice. Yeah, thank you. I'm very excited and very nervous for it.
Aww.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Probably.
Just be as much of a nerd about making it as you are about TI, and we'll be fine.
You're always better than you think you are.
That's true.
That
Thank you.
That just means you have to find some sort of noise replacement for your "Hello, everyone."
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be way more chilled out than that.
Everyone loves Home No More. How much input did you have into it, or did Matt just write it all on his own?
He actually passed the lyrics by me a couple times, but he's always been like really, really on point about writing lyrics. I asked him to change a couple words here and there, but for that was mostly just nitpicking on my part. For most of it though, he's just been like really good at nailing down character voice. He's an extremely talented musician as well, yeah. And just because Matt and Jackson have gotten compliments, Jay's an extremely talented
World builder.
Yes, and world builder. They're all extremely talented people.
Yes.
Very lucky to be working with them. But yeah, for the most part, it was just Matt.
Wow.
You know, speaking of Jay, I just got a vision of like, send an email of like, oh, hey, Faust, about this that you said about the characters on the podcast, and then he flies to Missouri and murders you for giving it all away. Even though it's mostly your character, not any of the NPCs.
I feel like that could be a really fun thing to do, would be like to word something that vaguely implies you gave away a huge spoiler point. And just make sure he checks the email.
I'm sure he'd sweat and have like a fit. I'd give him a heart attack.
What did you do? What did you say?
Am I mean enough to prompt this?
It's like, so about Jin's secret and Ash's past.
Man, that stuff that Faust told us about Meath was crazy.
Yeah.
I had no idea Idian was from the future.
It's really Ash's daughter.
That is like one of my weird headcanons for Ko, is that she's from the future and was like sent back on some sort of like mission, did the thing, realized she had no way back, and was just like, fuck it.
I need Ashian potential to still be a thing, at least.
There's certainly potential.
I am going to take that rub with that, you realize.
I was gonna say, I hope you realize she'll be quoting that from now on.
Yeah.
Actually, as soon soon as we're done with this call and I can restart my this computer so that the mouse will work, I am changing my Skype status.
I'm just now imagining Ian turning to Ash and offering her hand and saying, "Come with me if you want to live."
And then Ash backing it away.
Nice.
The Inionator 2000.
Okay, well, I guess those are the last questions. And before I leave, I have some surprise questions for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are your favorite tabletops?
Ooh.
I really enjoy Spell.
Yeah, I want to, like, I need to either find someone who's going to be starting up a campaign or, like, finally find time to put mine together, but yeah, Spell seems like the best.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, but generally as far as playing, and I have the most experience and enjoy the most with Pathfinder, so.
Nice.
I've only really played one system that much, and I did like forum post, and it was called Living Legends, and I really liked it because it was very much like flavor. Like you'd have an ability that was like, oh, do 2d6 damage, and you could name it whatever, and it would fit perfectly with whatever you were doing. And
interesting.
You could, and part of the way it was built was that you could, if you wanted to, there was easy ways to build your own races and build your own abilities. And then the RP and battle systems were entirely separate. So, like, if you wanted a character who had, like it's the kind of thing where when you're building a character and you're like, yeah, I want them to do this cool thing, but then when we go into combat, I'm going to be, like, severely underpowered because of it. So it was an easy way to be like, well, like, they can do this ability out of combat, and this is the incorporation of that ability in combat, and it's still useful.
Interesting. That sounds really cool. I'll have to check that out. We might do a live stream of that at some point.
I will email it to you because it is the hardest thing on the internet to find.
Version.
Do what?
You should use the My Little Pony version of it.
Oh yeah,
Oh, God.
that's the one I played.
Yes, that would be great.
And second question, what was the most? You all seem to be really, really good at predicting what we do. Is there anything that you did not predict and were surprised by?
Oh god.
Oh my god, I'm gonna need like 10 minutes to figure this out.
There has been a lot, like as much stuff as we managed to call, there's been a lot of like, oh, holy shit, that's where they were going with that.
Yeah.
I guess Aaron. Just Aaron showing up practically slashing Ash in half.
Yeah.
Like,
I didn't expect.
Yeah, and then just relatedly, just the sheer amount of damage that everyone, but especially Ash, took during the Narn fight. Because, like, holy hell, how is everyone still in one piece?
I'm going to say just Narn, like, showing up. Like, we keep seeing, like, the Zath, and it's like, man, I wonder when that's going to be relevant. And then just like, oh! They literally just walk into the city. Okay.
Yeah.
Like they were on the title card for Gods Are Gone, and it's like, huh. And then, like, you open, everything is on fire, and you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they're the title card. Oh, gods. Oh, gods.
Oh, God, I love that title card so much.
I don't know, really. I guess it might have been back with Phobius and just how easily Gregor dispatched it in one hit when it turned into Ash. I didn't really expect him to slice the copy in half.
You know what? It's kind of a meta thing, but I was surprised that you guys actually used the stage to beat Charoth. because you went past it and you talked with Yurok and you went on your way. I was like, Jay's setting that up specifically so they can use it because there's no way they can fight a death god and win, except because this is a tabletop campaign, they're going to ignore and do something else.
Exactly.
It's like they're going to ignore and do something completely different. They're like going to find some secret weapon, or they're going to use iconoclasm, or Fox King Mansion. They're probably going to lure it there and do something there.
Yeah.
And then no, you guys actually used the stage. I was so surprised because it seemed like such an obvious cue. But then Jay came on and was like, no, I did not expect them to do that. Oh. So.
Yeah, I was personally really gunning for the stage. I wanted that to happen so bad. And I'm glad it did.
And then we got the beautiful, like, animation sequence.
Yeah. Oh my god, I love
That was so good.
Yeah, but it was just like, it's a tabletop. The players never go for the obvious solution at a tabletop.
Yup.
But that time you did.
Let's see. Next question. Where do you think TI is going right now? Next couple episodes or, like, etc.
Away from Honorant.
You are correct. Yes, we are going away from Honorant.
I should hope somewhere for someone's backstory because we've been getting so much development.
Yeah.
Like I'm not sure like who would get it first, but I should hope they'll wind up somewhere directly related to the characters.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like it's like they're gonna go to. There's gonna be a war in some aspect, obviously, but I'm not sure how it's going to be handled. Like, I don't know exactly. But like, they're like, okay, we're gonna stop this war by being the fifth side. It's like, okay, so are you going to like dress up as the old clan leaders or something? Like, what shenanigans?
Conga! It's Marcus Jalafi's Conga line for peace. Come on, Elfy.
Like, what specific?
I honestly have no idea how they're gonna do it.
Like, what specific shenanigans will they have to figure out to get these two sides who have hated each other for like a century now are going to just like sit down and have tea together?
Maybe they won't, and maybe the war will just go absolutely horribly for the spirits, and then, oh, hey, we have to run away anyways. You guys should come with us and sell in the Shrouded Isles.
Maybe it's.
Right.
I do think that one of the possible solutions is they just can't stop the war and a bunch of people die, and they're like, maybe we should stop doing this. Like,
I don't think there would ever be a point where we think, let's stop. Well, we probably push it to its extreme.
well, I mean, like the two sides are going to be like, oh,
The two sides. Okay.
Like-
no,
like-
Marcus and Gregor would continue the fight.
no, like 75% of our soldiers are dead. There's like 10 people on each side left. We should really stop.
Yeah.
No, get right, Elfie. There'd be like 2 people and a shoestring on each side.
I'm really excited to see how they do this. I'm also nervous because like everyone could die.
Can't they always?
For my real answer, I guess, instead of the joke answer. In the future, I definitely think at some point there will be Mies involved. Maybe not in the way we think.
The question is just when.
Yes.
It
is always a question.
half hoping that there'll be some kind of shipwreck on Meath or something. As they're going home and they just wash up on Meath and Ash just kind of goes, "Fuck, I hate you all, I'm
Actually, no. All we have to do to find out where they're going next is ask the fandom at large, because you guys still, as far as I know, haven't got into those campaign idea contest stuff.
We've actually lined out some of those. But what we want to do is once we escape Onorant is do some more Deck of Disaster kind of stuff where it's like shorter. And we've put together a couple campaigns from the suggestions to do some Deck of Disaster kind of things. I'm super excited for those.
And hopefully see more of the fan monsters from way back when.
Oh yeah, we've seen like
no kidding.
2 or 3.
Yeah.
monsters.
I think we've seen the Trollide wasn't one.
No, but the bird people that'll be sent in, and the bile bats.
And
Yes.
the
Phobius.
and then the spider skunk showed up in the spell stream.
Yes. And we know that that art for the Lich Owl exists, the Lich Owl just hasn't shown up yet.
Yeah.
I'm so hopeful. I'm always so hopeful.
I think I might know where it's gonna show up.
See, we thought it was going to be a village of corpses, and then it wasn't.
Yeah.
I have a feeling I might know like what region it would show up in TI. Not like what episode or like, yeah. But yeah, as far as Meath goes, I can say there will be Meath things. And at some point in the future, maybe Ash will have a reason to go back there. Who knows?
Again, woohoo!
In like,
Are we
in
like?
like 2 years at this point.
Are we like them?
Maybe,
Oh, you go.
gosh, ideally we want to get things moving quicker. Right now our only constraint is time, curse you.
Are we like number 2 or 3 on your list of favorite people to troll? Because it kind of seems like that sometimes.
Oh yeah. Jackson loves it.
Yes,
He
I've
loves
noticed.
Claw.
I asked him that to his face, and he was like, "Oh well." Like, what's Gregor Fly? He's like,
Yep.
It's like, I don't remember.
Yeah. He might actually not have remembered. But I remember, and it's funny what he's done.
Are you going to tell us?
No, I can't tell you.
Well, you pointed out when it is relevant.
Yes, I will.
Okay.
Add a little
We will
annotate
take
in the
that.
video somewhere, Gregor Fla.
It's on the damn podcast
Dry
banner.
field for Gregor Fly. What?
Yeah, and then Jackson also posted that, like, here's a preview of the title card art. It was like 5 pixels.
Oh yeah. I think it was a zoom in on like Dow's belt. or
Yeah, because it was
something.
gold, and I was like,
Yeah.
Ash's eye? I don't know what's going on. If you'd like to listen to more episodes of the podcast, you can find us at spiritfolksaturdays.tumblr.com. If you want to join the TI Skype chat, feel free to shoot us an ask with your Skype name. We'd be happy to have you. Thanks for listening. We'll see everybody next week. Bye!
They're cool. Bye.
Bye.